So are we ready? Thank you. It's Mike Lodato from the town of Hempstead IDA. I'm the Deputy Executive Director, and I'm accompanied by Frederick E. Parola, who is the CEO. We're looking here to open up a public hearing for Estella Housing LLC. Today's date is February 15th, 10 a.m. And we're here for a public hearing to talk about benefits granted to Estella Housing LLC. I will now read the notice into the record, and we will have people up to testify. Thank you. Okay, so we have a lot of people here, Julia, so let me know when you're ready, and I'll start sending everyone. Okay. Good morning. The hearing is open for Estella Housing LLC. If counsel or someone would like to speak on the record, please stand in front of the phone and speak to our stenographer, Julia. You're also being filmed to go up on our website.
Starting now?
Yes.
When you speak, please try to project so that we can both get your recorded testimony as well as those that are here can hear your comments. Thank you.
Good morning, it's Dan Deegan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How are you? Good morning, my name is Dan Deegan with the law firm Porcelli Deegan Toronto on behalf of the applicant. I'm with the law firm in Uniondale, New York, for the record. I'm here to represent the Estella project at 176 Main Street. I also have with me today, I'm looking to see, you may still be on my Ralph Fasano from the Concern for Independent Living, and also Tiffany Robinson. We're expecting both of them here today. There is a line of security downstairs. I don't know if that's delaying people, but they will also be here today as part of the public record. So the project that we're here to talk about at this public hearing is a joint venture between Concern for Independent Living and Georgica Green, which is a joint venture between those two companies. Concern for Independent Living is a not-for-profit which is committed to providing high-quality housing. They currently have 200 locations serving over 1,100 residents in the New York, Long Island area. They provide affordable housing options and support services, including targeting housing for veterans. Georgica, the other joint venture partner, is a well-regarded, well-known affordable housing developer who constructs projects and develops and operates across Long Island and the New York area generally. The project we're here to talk about is a vacant piece of property on the corner of Bedell and Main Street, which is currently owned by Concern for Independent Living and is off the tax rolls, producing no revenue at this time. The proposal is to construct 96 units of affordable housing, and with the first floor being 5,500 square feet of community service space. The project is being built pursuant to the village's downtown overlay zoning district and would entail a $50 million investment in the downtown. The 96 units would break down as 42 studio units, 34 one-bedroom units, and 19 two-bedroom units. All of the units would be workforce/affordable housing. The key to the vibrancy of any downtown or any community is to have a range of income levels. And this particular building calls for a range of income levels within the building. The studio incomes are made for individuals earning between $26,000 a year and $45,000 a year. The one bedroom and two bedrooms are $43,000 to $78,000 a year, meaning that that's the target income that the residents would have. The supportive units, which is an additional component, targets, which is going to be targeting, it's a total of 42 units, is going to either have a preference or a set-aside for veterans. And those veterans would pay 30% of their income to live there. So one of the interesting things to note hearing those incomes is that while the AMI people in the village would think about the area median income for the village, it really is expressed as Nassau and Suffolk County. So the numbers are higher. So 50% AMI for the Nassau County, Suffolk County AMI may translate to be a lower, basically a higher AMI for people living in the village, meaning that these are, working people that will be living there who are making a good living. The plan here is to build a very high quality building. There's a high construction cost that's planned here. to $50 million product. It's going to provide a service that's not currently really available in the village, which is brand new, high quality construction and housing for existing residents. It's going to be targeted for existing residents and veterans. The plan is to market it there. It should be noted that all the village approvals are currently in place. The state funding for the project has already been awarded. And this construction project will result in 100 construction jobs at least, and 7 full-time jobs when it's up and running. Very importantly, the applicant concerned has pledged $2 million contribution to the village towards sewer and water infrastructure, which not only benefits this project, but will benefit the entire downtown. For a project like this to work, you require, because the rents are regulated and kept at a certain level, the affordable level, it needs a pilot agreement, which is commensurate and coterminous with the term of the financing. So we're looking for a 30-year pilot, which ultimately calls for payments equivalent to 10% of gross shelter rent, meaning 10% of the revenue received by the building ultimately will go back in taxes. As I pointed out earlier, this property is currently off the tax rolls and producing 0 right now. So I see Ralph is here, and also Tiffany has come, and I would just ask if they'd like to say anything on the record. Tiffany,
Yes.
who's from the applicant as well.
Good morning.
Tiffany, give your full name and title, please.
Okay, Tiffany Robinson. I'm the program director of our Riverhead site for Concern Housing. Good morning. I'm here today also as a resident of Hempstead. My family has lived in Hempstead for over 25 years. Homeowners, taxpayers, and I've worked for Concern for over 10 years. And I worked in Brooklyn, now I'm in Long Island. I've seen the quality of housing that we do produce for residents. I've seen residents come in with a sense of pride, knowing that they have this beautiful housing to give their families. We also partner with the community. I have, when I worked in Brooklyn and also out here, brought in mobile vans for the community for health services, food drives, clothing drives, STD testing, which also helps everyone in the community. We also provide jobs, job training for our residents as well. We're also now getting ready to open up a bagel shop in one of our residents in Coney Island. So our projects are not just housing, we're also support.
What's the name of the bagel shop? I apologize.
It's a bagel store that we're getting ready to open. At Surf
What's the
Vets.
name?
At our Surf Vets property in Coney Island, we're getting ready to open a bagel shop. There's no name at this time. So again, I'm speaking as an employee and a resident, that I think that this project will bring new life, new housing, a lot of support. Like I said, my family lives out here, prominent members of the community, and we all discuss, how housing is kind of lacking for our aging individuals as well, and veterans. Thank you.
I'm going to go off the sign-in sheet up front for anyone that would like to speak in the order that you signed in. If you haven't signed in, please sign in. Grant Newberger. Please state your name and where you're from into the phone, and the camera will have you as well.
I'm sorry, Michael, who's speaking right now?
It's Grant Newberger again.
Oh, okay, all right, sure.
Grant Newberger, I'm sorry. Grant Newberger, Building Construction Trades Council, Nassau and Suffolk Counties. This is a big construction project. I just want to make sure that, we're including the building trades in the discussion, and I want to make sure that on the record, we're included in the discussion for prevailing wage, and we'd also like to see this project have a project labor agreement. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next person who signed in is Terry Winston, I believe. Yeah.
My name is Terry Winston. I'm a resident of the village of Hempstead.
Would you just partially turn this way so the folks here can hear you as well? Thank you.
Thank you.
What gives Nassau County, the town of Hempstead, IDA, and the Incorporated Village of Hempstead Administration the right to determine what is in the best interest of the residents of the village of Hempstead, when an overwhelmingly amount of them don't live in the village, and neither do they want to. They will have you believe the lie that pilots are advantageous and serve to bolster a less than stellar economy. They will have you believe that Hempstead is in much better fiscal shape because of them. I beg to differ. Pilots fiscally have crippled the Hempstead economy. In addition, Hempstead has not a leg to stand on because former Mayor Wayne Hall gave away village parking lots to RXR, who in turn has made millions off of the sale of these parking lots. The new owners, as if they are doing the residents a favor, are asking for pilots and other tax breaks. Hempstead has 27 plus pilots lasting between 30, 25, and 15 years on an average. It is the norm that the town of Hempstead IDA gives extensions on these pilots. This revolving backdoor benefit far exceeds its usefulness. Pilots are a scam and serve to benefit developers, corporations, so-called attorneys, and Nassau County. Pilots in Hempstead have created a slew of slumlords who are made to believe they are above the law. Segregated Nassau County is notorious for preying upon the poor, elderly, and disenfranchised. It is also politically advantageous to prey specifically upon decrepit villages, to dump what is considered a financial burden to other neighborhoods. Great Neck was successful in blocking the Great Neck Tower Ford project because they have money, and they are some of the individuals converging on villages like Hempstead and Valley Stream. Garden City is exempt because Tom Swazi said so. I say no to this project and any other pending project. Current projects need to be revisited for non-compliance of their respective contracts and disposed of.
And Jared?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine Gary. I'm a member of the Many Races Cultural Foundation, as well as the Concerned Citizens Coalition of Hempstead. I bring to your attention that at a time when racial tension is at a high peak in America, it is truly not wise to be giving out these discriminatory pilots to a community already suffering under 30 such discriminatory pilots already. It is morally wrong to even propose such a pilot for Hempstead. And so, I appeal to you in the name of justice for all to strongly reject the pilot for this applicant. History shows that apartment house pilots have been a disaster for Hempstead. They go back to 1968. And the village has lost over $300 million in tax revenue. This is a disgrace, a discriminatory disgrace. fact is, Village of Hempstead homeowners already are subsidizing 2,400 units of housing, more than any other village. Homeowners are subsidizing 7,500 residents of Hempstead. The village homeowners are doing the subsidizing under a pilot. The village tax loss of $300 million. That's the village tax loss. The school district of Hempstead tax loss is another $600 million. Estella does not stand alone. In addition to all these other pilots, 30 of them causing this economic disaster in Hempstead, Estella is also part of an even bigger plan of racial discrimination. Village of Hempstead documents show the intent to apply for an additional 35 pilots to overcrowd the village with 10,000 to 15,000 new residents, when this community is already overcrowded, and everyone knows that. These new pilots they want would create 3,800 new apartment units in Hempstead, when all the documents show and tell you right out that Hempstead has more apartment buildings than any place else in Nassau County. This is a travesty that must be rejected. And finally, I point out that this pilot is also premature. Its application, the village has put in an application for Estelle and all the other 35 pilots for a $10 million sewer and water grant. That $10 million sewer and water grant has been rejected by the Long Island Regional Council. Therefore, this project does not have the sewer and water that is needed for construction, and it's questionable as to when it will, if ever, have that ability. Therefore, these Estella and other projects must be rejected until such time, and if such time, that the proper sewer and water is available. And the donation of so-called donation of $2 million for sewer and water is not enough to provide for the proper sewer and water, and it's really a bribe. It's a bribe that this developer puts before the village to make themselves look like there's some kind of charity. They are not a charity, they are a nonprofit, but a very wealthy nonprofit that paid $3 million for the land that they're talking about. It had $3 million to pay for that land. And then it says it's a charity.
Mr. Gary, you have 6 minutes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tim Lin, and I've been...
I'm sorry to start from. Could you spell your first name?
Yes, Tim. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Tim, thank you.
Okay, I'm the owner of Master Kitchen and Bath right here on 228 Front Street. We opened our doors in 2006. I also do a lot of business outside of the county, mainly in Flushing now, most of my business in Flushing. If you know how Flushing has developed compared to Hempstead, we came to Hempstead hoping that this place, this city, would be you know, something that galvanized Nassau County into something beautiful. And that has never happened. We went through Renaissance, we went through arts, nothing happened. Now you look at what Flushing has done in the past 10 years. It has been nothing, and now it is basically a metropolis within the city. Now, I'm not saying reject the project outright. I'm sure there's something can be negotiated. You know, something we can come to some kind of agreement, because I think definitely in Hempstead something is needed. You cannot keep having empty parking lots, no business. I would not want my kids to be here. I'd rather have my kids be in Flushing, you know, because the opportunity is there. Businesses are there. People are surviving. They can make money. It's not about me. It's about your offspring, your future, right? Would you rather retire in a community that has nothing going on? Just nobody walking down the street? No, I want a vibrant community. You don't have to reject this outright. You know, looking at Hempstead since 2006, over 15, 17 years now, what has happened? Nothing. You look at Flushing, countless buildings go up. And when most of them went up and people bought the land on 421A, tax abatement, 15, 25 years. Okay, but now they're all paying back into the city. The city generates so much money from Flushing, from the cities, from people. It's not just about the tax of the unit. It's also about the people living there. They're going downstairs. They're buying food. They're supporting businesses. It goes all around. It's you know, the Chinese people have a saying: a rising tide lifts all boats. Okay, if you put development, not only is creating jobs to the construction workers, but when people move in, they're supporting businesses, right? You do not want that. You do not want them to come build, and to be able to spend money. When you come to you gotta buy groceries, right? You can support the supermarket down there. It's in shambles. Manufacturing, everything goes up.
Please.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn. Thank you.